Now that Cher is 80 years old, her son affirms all we've taught about her as a cultural icon and pop icon. Therefore, let's figure it out. Allow me to fill you in on her background before we reveal the awful reality. Her lovely given name is Cherylyn Sarkeesian, and she came into our world in 1946. What we're about to reveal about her is something that the general public is unaware of. Georgia Holt and John Sarkeesian, Cher's parents, had an intense love affair that tragically did not last since they divorced when Cher was a newborn. Their split was for the best, since staying with her father would have been a recipe for disaster. He was hopelessly addicted to drugs and gambling and showed no signs of ever getting sober. As a result, her view of her father became strained and deeply unpleasant. This meant that Cher would have to face the challenges of her career without the support of her father. Cher was very proud of her Armenian heritage, despite the fact that she had a tough existence filled with obstacles. Her father, and after her mother's second marriage, her stepfather, inculcated this sense of pride in her. Even after her mother remarried, Cher's life did not appear to get much simpler. When her mother remarried, her life did become somewhat stable for a while, although that stability was short-lived. The instability of Cher's upbringing was exacerbated by her mother's habit of getting married and divorced several times. While Cher was growing up, her family faced a number of challenges, one of which was financial instability due to her mother's sporadic acting and singing professions. Her youth was plagued by financial instability, which led to a life of continual uncertainty. As a result, she developed the habit of never staying in one area for too long. Throughout these terrible times, Cher's skill and perseverance were her sole pillars of support. She sowed the seeds of bravery and courage to confront her difficulties head-on, refusing to let them define her. Cher overcame the challenges caused by her family's inefficiency by drawing on her inner power. Because of her genuineness, talent, and unfaltering attitude, Cher has inspired innumerable followers throughout her career, and her sizable and devoted fan base is a testament to these qualities. The power of persistence is exemplified by her capacity to overcome personal challenges and achieve achievement. The story of Cher's life serves as an inspiration, since it shows that we are capable of overcoming adversity and creating our own way to success. Cher had to go through a terrible ordeal when she was just 6 years old, and it affected her life to this day. Her mother's financial difficulties forced her to reside in a Catholic orphanage, which was a typical occurrence during that era. It may have been commonplace, but the impact it had on her was catastrophic. Despite the heartbreak of their separation, Cher's mom, Georgia, assured her that they would remain connected, and happily, Cher was able to see her every day. It was unexpected of her mother at the time, but the love of a mother is genuinely lovely. Cher and her half-sister Jorgen were profoundly affected by these events. It seemed like Cher was not destined to pursue this kind of subject throughout her high school years, as she found herself in conflict with the established educational system. Despite her unparalleled intelligence and creativity, she felt perpetually alone among her classmates. Cher decided to drop out of school in the 11th grade due to her strong concentration on a future in the spotlight and her distaste of the rigorous academic standards in her chosen subjects. Cher's struggles in school were not due to her inherent stupidity, her natural tendency toward sloth, or even her defiance of authority. Her struggles with reading and understanding numbers were exacerbated by her undiagnosed dyslexia and dyscalculia. Even though she had supportive friends and family, Cher's feelings of isolation and frustration were exacerbated by the harsh judgment she endured for her scholastic difficulties at a time when little was understood about these learning disabilities. One of her biggest problems was the friction between her real self and the image she developed to battle the evils of this material world. For a young woman who was only beginning to figure out who she is and where she wants her life to go, that caused mayhem. It was a logical progression for someone whose home life was so chaotic and unpredictable. She had given up hope before these problems even began, so she was prepared for anything. When Cher relocated to Los Angeles and met Sonny Bono, her life took a sharp turn. At the time, Sonny was an experienced record promoter and songwriter, and his influence would greatly impact her destiny. Sonny sensed Cher's potential and her natural aptitude right away, despite their enormous age gap. To help her succeed, he volunteered to be her mentor, and she gladly took him up on his offer. If you knew that Cher started off as a live-in housekeeper, you might be astonished. For someone who started with a little and went on to achieve incredible things, we understand how wild it can be. They formed a synchronous bond through their long-term professional collaboration. Sonny began working with Cher on an increasing number of musical projects once he noticed her beautiful voice and charisma on stage. Despite their early success with hit singles like I Got You, Babe, and The Beat Goes On, Sonny and Cher encountered substantial obstacles when they ventured into film. In 1967, they made their comedic debut with Good Times, a picture that was critically panned for its disjointed plot and lack of funny ideas. The unfeeling reception from both reviewers and viewers served as a distressing reminder that making the transition from music to film is no picnic. In spite of this enormous loss, Sonny and Cher attempted to diversify their film productions with the 1969 release of Chastity. In this daring endeavor, which was vastly different from their typical humorous parts, they sought a more tragic tone. Was another one of their projects that bombed at the box office, despite positive critical criticism and audience engagement. Sonny and Cher were rocked to their core by the commercial failure of Chastity, which tore them apart emotionally and financially. The pair had to face the brutal truth of the film industry at a delicate period that there was no assurance of success. The fallout from this might be devastating. At this point, the typical person would be sick of hearing about the entertainment industry, but these people were anything but ordinary. Sonny and Cher's tenacity and determination helped them overcome the obstacles they encountered in their cinematic careers. Hence, it was all for naught. Sonny and Cher's feud with the ever-changing music industry mirrored their financial woes. Some terrible financial problems ensued as psychedelic rock and other genres rose to prominence, seemingly breaking away from their pop and folk origins. The fact that they were able to pivot from pop singers to live acts and still achieve success with their new ventures is admirable given the changing scene. Once the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour aired, Chaz Bono and Cher's careers took a dramatic change. They became instantly popular as both musicians and TV personalities. With the debut of this groundbreaking variety program in 1971, the duo found the ideal platform to showcase their musical talent and comedic flair, drawing in viewers with their unique blend of song and comedy. The show's musical performances and sketch comedy were a perfect match, and the guest appearances gave viewers something to look forward to each week. The connection and timing between Sonny and Cher shone through in every one of their sketches, that varied from humorous satire to biting sarcasm. The fact that they were both influenced by current events and popular culture, as well as their own lives, is also widely recognized. Notable guest appearances, including both established and emerging artists, gave the event a platform for fresh talent. Their ability to promote up-and-coming artists through a variety of entertainment elements ensured their widespread success and contributed to the show's enduring impact on popular culture. In the end, the show's meteoric rise to fame ensured its continued relevance in the entertainment business. Unfortunately, they also fell, as do all great things. With both partners engaging in humiliating extramarital affairs, problems began to arise in their relationship even after they attained a professional achievement of his scale. It felt like the couple's stringent anti-drug rules and devotion to their marriage were at odds with the prevailing social norms of the time. Consolidated in one spot. Although Cher and Sonny's moral ideas may have shocked some of their more conservative and older fans, it was because they ignored a segment of the teenage population that ultimately led to their attitudes and actions adapting to the new social climate. Because the audience's expectations were altering in such a terrible way, they had an identity crisis as they tried to reconcile their personal convictions. Despite their best efforts, they were unable to establish a foothold in the ever-changing cultural currents, as we witnessed in the show's last season. Their music career and their working collaboration were both affected by this internal struggle, and it was becoming worse as time went on due to increasing tensions and outside influences like fame and public scrutiny. Despite everything that had happened, Sonny remained adamant about trying to salvage their relationship. His dogged pursuit of Cher revealed his intense feelings for her and his longing to be with her again. Following some time of uncertainty and introspection, Cher and Sonny re-emerged before the public, this time not as partners but as something more. They went public with their declarations of love and commitment to one another. The announcement was a smashing success as they tied the knot on March 4, 1969. Their daughter, Chastity Bono, later shortened to Chaz Bono, was born, and their marriage was once again the subject of industry gossip. Along with elevating their profile, this did wonders for their friendship and lifted their spirits when they were going through tough times individually. Their remarkable guest appearance on The Merv Griffin Show showcased their charisma and chemistry, captivating audiences and capitalizing on their well-deserved renown, and was noticed by the officials at CBS. A major coup for the dynamic duo's television careers came when CBS offered them the chance to host their show, recognizing their potential. With its excellent ratings and national acclaim, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour became an instant hit. Another interesting fact is that the show was originally meant to be a summer replacement, but CBS opted to make it a full-time series later on that same year due to its overwhelming success. Afterwards, we were treated to yet another spectacular Cher collaboration starring the renowned fashion designer Bob Mackie. Cher became a fashion icon in the 1970s thanks in large part to his artistically exquisite creations, which he tailored to her glitzy, daring taste. This, in turn, greatly influenced the show's subject. They began collaborating again, and their partnership with producer Snuff Garrett yielded the #1 single Gypsies, Tramps and Thieves, which the duo used to resurrect their music career. They continued to develop as musicians with solos like The Way of Love and albums like Foxy Lady. But Garrett departed due to disagreements with Sonny. After Bittersweet White Light bombed with listeners, the band released Stars to shore up their reputation. Another record that bombed at the box office was Stars. The fact that it came out immediately following Cher's 1975 divorce from Sonny gives some fans the impression that it bombed. In 1975, Cher took a giant leap forward in her music career once again by signing a lucrative deal with Warner Bros. Despite the album's initial commercial failure, it is now widely considered one of Cher's finest works. Fans and journalists alike were ecstatic about Cher's triumphant comeback to television with her self-titled CBS solo show. As an entertainer, Cher's skills and timeless charisma were on full display. Cher became an unstoppable force in the entertainment world after mesmerizing audiences with her mesmerizing musical performances, engaging comic routines, and unique fashion moments. After some deliberation, she tied the knot with Gregg Allman in 1975, marking yet another watershed moment in her career and personal life. After Allman's addiction caused strain in their marriage, Cher still decided to be there for him and try to mend fences. Elijah Blue was born to them after a long and happy marriage. He became an emblem of their devotion to one another, a rock that held them together through their arguments, and a source of strength and community. Unfortunately, that too was not long-lasting because the addiction problem became intolerable. A divorce, which finally occurred in 1979, was the sole resolution to these problems. I thought you all were aware that 46-year-old Elijah was kidnapped from his New York hotel room in November of 2022. The most bizarre part is that Cher was accused of being the kidnapper. Cher has disputed the allegations and positioned herself as a good mother, claiming that the conduct was motivated by a desire to prevent him from reconciling with his then-estranged wife. The fact that Elijah has admitted to his own struggles with drug addiction only serves to deepen the strain on their relationship.